Hi there! Welcome to the Gutter Rankings channel, the safe space for all non-standard Pokemon. For this episode, I'm borrowing the Eeveelutions theme from my good friend, the Dingo Dog 100. She had been obsessed with the entire evolution chain ever since Season 1. Before the Primal Legendaries got out, she had built a team around Sunny Day and Rain Dance that of course went to scrap, because weather was not really something that you could control. She was so disappointed in fact that she didn't participate in VGC for years after that. However, recently we discussed reworking her team in an attempt to make them viable in that exact format. The whole dynamic is built around sheer power and breaking through your opponent's defenses. On support she's got Leafeon with Chlorophyll to make sure it outspeeds in that sun, holding the Lumberry, max speed, HP, running Fake Tears, Swagger and Leaf Blade. Jolteon, Focus Sash to prevent those one-hit knockouts due to its lack of defense, max speed, max HP to make it a little bit more bulky, also with Fake Tears, Thunder Wave to slow down those sweetie boys and Thunderbolt. I would argue that Jolteon is perhaps the best support you can have in the Eeveelutions team, simply based on that speed and its move pool. On the offense, she's got a terrifying Espeon, guys, with max speed, max special attack, and the choice specs to get those one-hit knockouts on most Pokemon when paired with Fake Tears. It has Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, and Signal Beam. Not in her original team, but we decided to add in Glaceon, simply because it really doesn't get used very often. It has super high special attack, and in a Fake Tears team, that works pretty well. It knows Ice Beam, Hidden Power Fighting, Water Pulse and Signal Beam, and holds the Choice Scarf to help it with its lack of speed. Another sweeper, Sylveon with Pixelate, Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Psyshock, also max speed with max special attack holding the Life Orb. Lastly, she's got the bulkiest Umbreon you ever did see. It's built to upset and survive, holding that bright powder for the occasional dodge, max defense, max HP, foul play, a 95 base power dark move that uses your opponent's attack stat to calculate damage instead of your own. This of course is mighty useful against those slippery legendaries with those crazy stats. It's got Moonlight to recover, double team, and like all the others it knows protect. Never underestimate the power of the move Protect. I was very fortunate to test the brute force of this team in the first ever match I had with the Dingo Dogs team. Sending out Kyogre right away, of course that has really high special defense, really high special attack. It's gonna bring the rain that will give water type moves a 50% boost. Moves like Thunder and Hurricane can no longer miss. Now this was the perfect test to see how well these Eevees could actually break down special defense. I was thoroughly impressed by the amount of damage Espeon actually did. Now bringing Earthquake out of Kyogre, of course, normal attack is not his best, so my max HP Jolteon was able to survive. I get that he was going for the Shadow Ball, wanting the super effective damage to go onto Espeon, but I do think perhaps using a Muddy Water or Scald might have been better because of the stab and because of the boost from the rain. Now, holding that choice specs, having that high special attack, Espeon really is brutal. However, I know that he cannot really fight against Yveltal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that either. Quickly budging in. Okay, so you pronounce it Yveltal. Now, I have never actually seen Xerneas without Geomancy. So it's most important to try and slow down Xerneas as much as possible. If I'm butchering his name, I apologize, I also don't know how to pronounce it. That is a very predictable strategy at this point because literally every single one of them uses it. So if you can't deal with it immediately, it's most likely going to destroy you. I didn't want Jolteon to go out yet, thinking that it could provide a little bit more support. It is really fast. It can probably outspeed the Xerneas, even though it does have that speed buff. Of course, there was no way that Espeon was going to survive that. I felt very comfortable. I'm in a really good position here. Glaceon, of course, holding the Choice Scarf that doubles its speed stat, although it can only use the same move. And of course, Ice Beam would be enough here to take out that Yveltal. I was really happy to have run into a team like this as my first match, because this is exactly what I wanted to test. My next opponent provided another fun match, but I also had the opportunity to test the true power of this Eeveelutions team. I was up against Entei and Raikou, and I was able to also test breaking through their special defense. Luckily, both Espeon and Jolteon managed to outspeed those two legendaries. And would you look at the pure power in that? I was a little bit surprised to see how low Raikou's attack stat was there. Perhaps it wasn't properly trained or just taken from the wild, not too sure. I wanted to preserve Espeon as it was locked in, and I wanted to use a different type of attack against Rayquaza. I also knew that Umbreon would be able to survive any attack that comes its way, considering how bulky it is. I think from all of the evolutions, Umbreon is the most bulky. Getting the Thunder Wave in there to reduce that speed stats above 75%, I think with Sword and Shield it's only a 50% speed drop, but in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire it was still a 75% drop. This means that my entire team can now outspeed Rayquaza, and it would only be able to beat me in speed if it used a move such as Extreme Speed. Now, look at the damage Foul Play does, simply because Rayquaza's attack stat is so high. I wanted to start setting up for a sweep, which is why I went with the fake tears here, knowing that Rayquaza is probably not going to make it through this Umbreon. Now I know Lugia is extremely bulky, so I had to start setting up breaking through that defense. Once it starts roosting and things like that, it can be very hard to kill and sometimes even impossible. I know when you use evasion in competitive play, it's not really looked upon favorably, but the whole idea with this Umbreon is that it's supposed to be an upsetting opponent. And of course that Jolteon being very bulky there, manages to hang on just and really breaking down this Lugia's defenses. I don't think it has anything left. Almost any attack would be able to take it out at this point. Very unlucky that my opponent wasn't aware of the Volt Absorb, so instead of taking damage, Jolteon's HP gets restored. I'm also not too familiar with Raikou. I did think it was a bit more powerful in terms of normal attack. And of course Lugia no longer having any defensive set. Jolteon has naturally high spatial attack, not as high as Espeon or Glaceon of course, but it's enough to take him out. The thing with Umbreon is he doesn't really have power in his offensive stats, but Foul Play really is a good way to get around that. Now there's really nothing left for my opponent to do. He's gonna go down regardless. I wanted to send out Sylveon just to bring all 4 Pokemon into the team, really. No other reason at that point. And my opponent goes down. And this was just a perfect test of these Pokemon's abilities. I really had a great time with these matches, had a lot of fun. From all the matches that I've had online, I've only lost one, which I will share with you guys as well. I've spoken about the synergy before on this channel, and that guy's synergy was off the charts. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you're staying safe in these challenging times. See you in the next one. Bye!